I can do this because I don't know how long it'll take to send this video. But here is Pat in all her beautiful glory. This is what she looks like right out of the fridge. You'll see this layer of liquid on the top. Some people say to dump that off, but I never have. So I just mix it up. Let me do this with my right hand. Mix it up and it kind of looks like this. I just keep mixing all that liquid in until it's, you kind of see it's kind of like a pancakey dough. I want the whole thing to be incorporated. Once you mix it, and it smells absolutely deliciously yeasty. Mix, mix, mix. Until it's kind of like this. See all those glorious bubbles, so you know you're active and good. So I'm thinking, you know, a lot of people feed it and they'll let it rest a couple hours before cooking, but if you've got bubbles, it's active, so I don't see the point in cooking it, or not cooking it, but feeding it. So that's mixed good, I think. So then I need 2 cups of my starter. So 1. Over to the bread machine. 1 and 2. Look at all that beautiful action. 2 cups of starter right in the machine. And then I just take a little water and mix it in this. I don't know how much I'm going to need. So now, okay, this is going to be tricky one-handed. I need 2.5 cups of flour. So I'm going to put the phone down real quick so I can level this out, but 2.5 cups. Okay, flour's in there, 2.5 cups. And then I want 2 tablespoons of sugar. And I use coconut sugar, but I've done raw sugar and it works just fine. So, hold on. I'm never really exact, so 1. 2, and then I do a teaspoon of salt. Teaspoon of salt and olive oil. Like I said, I always just kind of eyeball it, but the recipe is 2 tablespoons of oil. So 1, 2. And that is it. So now I just turn my little bread machine on and set it to dough only. And it is mixing away. And I'll show you what consistency I want. Like I said, if you watch that YouTube video of that guy that I sent you, he says to add like a cup or 2 of water, which is crazy because that's way too much water. So, like I said, sometimes I don't add any. So it'll depend on what it'll look like when it mixes. And I'll show you the perfect consistency for beautiful bread every time. Once this thing gets going. Come on, mix, mix, mix. While that's doing its thing, I'll show you how I refeed my starter to let it sit for another week. So I take, where's my cup? So I took out 2 cups of the starter. So I need 2 cups of flour. Okay, I'm gonna put this down while I level this out. Okay, I've added 2 cups of flour, and then I need 2 cups of water. So for whatever you take out, equal parts flour and water. 1 and 2. Then you want to give that a good mixing in there, like so. I'm going to use my finger to clean the bowl. Okay, and then all I do is just take a towel and throw it over this, and I'll let that sit for, I don't know, 2-3 hours, and then I'll mix it back up and stick it back in the fridge for another week. Okay, it's doing its thing here. And see that? I didn't add any water at all, and already it looks pretty good. I'm just going to take a knife and kind of help it get some of this stuff off the sides. And that actually looks perfect, so I'm not going to add any water at all. Like I said, sometimes I add water and sometimes I don't. So what I'll do now is just let this do its thing. When the bread machine turns off, which is in an hour and 27 minutes, I just unplug it, and then it sits for about 6 hours, sometimes sooner. And then I plug the bread machine back in and do the bake only setting, and it comes up. So I hope that's helpful.